Positive Connections Radio Halt and Call for Backup, episode 119.
Oh, it ruins my hairdo every day I go out.
Let's just start going, man. You want to?
Here we go, man. Let it rip.
Welcome back, everybody, to Positive Connections Radio and Halt and Call for Backup. I'm Mike Cook, and this is
Jim McLintock. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody.
What a great day, right?
It's awesome. You got some surf in today. Word on the street
I got some surf in today. So lucky. I live close to the ocean, and so lucky. It's summertime right now, and going
Beautiful.
out there, it is beautiful. It was fun. It's great waking up, doing dawn patrol, and heading out there and catching a little bit, and coming back, having some coffee and a little bit of breakfast, and just starting my day.
The
So,
big question of the day is this: did you catch a wave for me?
oh man, I think I forgot about that.
Oh,
No, I didn't. I don't think. I'm
well,
sorry.
it's been a
I'll
been a
give you a
nice
couple
show.
of them.
Thanks for joining us, everybody. Gotta go.
I really wasn't thinking of anything when I was doing it. I was actually thinking of just how grateful I am out in the ocean. But
Yeah,
next time, maybe tomorrow morning, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna
good.
think of Jim McLintock. This one is for you, buddy. I had a dream last night, and it's so funny. I went out there with my friend that lives across the street, and I'm walking out there. I'm like, oh my God, I had this dream last night that I caught this wave, and I am surfing it, and it's just going on forever, and it was just the most amazing wave ever. And then I went out there, and my dream didn't come true. That didn't happen, but I did catch some fun ones. So all it is about having fun, right?
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. Do you ever remember? I'm sure you've seen it. That old movie, not Big Wednesday, but The Endless Summer,
oh, of
where those
course, yeah,
surfers found that place. I think it was in Peru, Costa Rica, someplace where the
right,
wave, the right, went on forever,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it kept going and going, and they were the only ones out there on it. And from
That's
where they could tell, it was like they were the only people ever to ride it. That,
That's back in the day, just like Doheny used to
yeah,
be back in
yeah,
before 63, before they built everything up and the boat docks and
yeah,
the jetties and stuff. It screwed it all up. But the boneyard,
yeah.
man, used to go on forever.
Yeah, that used
Back
to be
then,
just Doheny was just like Rincon. That surf would wrap around the point and you would ride those rights forever.
nobody cared back then about the pretty much the environment and the surf and didn't think about it. And surfers weren't considered that much important. So
Yeah.
anyway, guess what I got here, Jim, in my hand?
I recognize that.
What
I know exactly what that is off of your desk. Tell the audience what that is.
audience? Well, audience, this is the positive word jar. And as you know, the jar never lies. So this jar was created by my son about 6 years ago because he knew that I love positive words. And that's one of the very first, actually, that's the very first 28-day challenge I've ever done was the positive words, 28 positive words. And it's stuck with me for the last umpteen years. So anyway, I always have a positive word jar. I have this one at work. It might be retired from work now. It's been there for 5 years. There's been some probably taken out, and there's been some put in there too. So I'm not 100% sure what we're gonna pull when we do pull it, but I think a majority of them are like
Mhm.
positive words. Some words don't
Ooh,
make sense, and then
let's find
some
out.
words were put in there, and probably by a cop or a firefighter.
Did you say that you retired that jar from your desk? You don't have it in your office anymore?
No, it's in my hand. I'm at home right now. This
Right.
this was at my desk for years, the last five
Okay.
years. So
Okay.
I just took it home this weekend, and
Got it.
I'm going to replace it. I will replace it with more positive words. I might just make photocopies of these. Anyway,
Well, here's the thing. If you ever go into Mike's office at First Responder Wellness in Newport, you won't sit there very long with a cup of coffee with him, and he'll say, Jim, take a positive word, see what it says. Everybody that comes in is introduced to your positive word jar.
yeah, I have to get this ready by next week, or else people are going to come in there and be really pissed.
All right. So we're going to draw a word today from Mike's positive word jar.
Let's do it.
See where it takes us.
Let's do it. All right, I'm gonna shake it up a little bit. I'm gonna go down there.
It's like I'm playing bingo.
Oh, you almost are. B12.
The answer is,
Okay, let's see what it says. Oh, wow. It says proud. It's proud.
got it.
All right. Well, we can talk about proud, right?
Let's go for it. Let's go for it. The first thing that comes to my mind is it gave me a good feeling when you said proud. I thought, that is part of the gentle speak to ourselves that encourages us, that we encourage ourselves from the inside out to be proud of your accomplishments. Be proud that you have worked so hard on your recovery or your mental wellness or your high school or your college or whatever it was that got you to the career that you're in right now. Be proud that you are an emergency responder because not everybody gets to be an emergency responder.
Oh,
And if you sit back and take a look at all the certifications it took to get you where you are today or where you were in your career, it's immense. And if you ever had the chance to print up your resume, don't stick to the one pager. Print out those 11 pages that it's going to take to fill all of those certifications and workshops that you went to, all of your experiences. That is really something to be proud of.
I love that. Yeah, just being proud of what you're doing and the achievements that you made and try not to screw it up
Yeah. The
because
opposite.
it can be
Go ahead.
gone that quickly. Go ahead.
No, sorry about that. I stepped on you, Mike. It can be gone that quickly. And that's the opposite side of proud is like stay humble at the same time. You remember the movie, the first Star Wars that came out? I think they call it episode 4 now, where Luke Skywalker is in the Millennium Falcon with Han Solo and they're shooting at the bad guys, with their photon ray guns or whatever they are. And Chewbacca's flying the thing, trying to get him out of harm's way. Finally, Luke Skywalker hits one of the bad guys and he turns around and he goes, I got it. And then Han Solo turns around and goes, great shot, kid. Don't get cocky. That's the ebb and the flow of proud right there.
Oh, Jim, man, you watch a lot of movies, huh? I love that. I love how you can remember those lines.
I like to think it's genius, but it's
It's
probably more. I don't know.
probably you probably got that in there a lot more than I do for sure. But
Yeah. Well, I'm always trying to learn something from what I'm watching and how do I help clients with it. So, the thing with pride is that it can get in our way. We can get real arrogant. We can get cocky. We can
that's
get
big.
those those higher levels of narcissistic traits can come out at that point, and then that's where we can get into trouble.
You're right, and it's on the same lines being proud and having pride, right? And they're slightly different too, right? So
Yeah.
being proud is I am proud of my accomplishments. I'm proud of what I've done. I'm proud of what I'm doing right now, giving myself the empathy and love and grace that maybe before I did not give myself, and I'm learning how to love myself a little bit more and being proud of my accomplishments, even the small ones,
Right.
and accepting compliments from others instead of, shooing them aside. And then having pride in what you believe in, having pride in the stances you take, having pride of speaking out when no one else will, because you might be ridiculed for it. I think those are all very strong traits, and it's something to work on.
Right. Mike, and it's in the show every time we do this. And you were saying this to me years ago when you first met me, when you interviewed me for the very first time to be on your show, where you said, um, stand up, speak your truth, and break the stigma. And there's steel in those words. And that's a proud statement. Stand up, speak your truth, break the stigma. It's hand in hand with doing your best to live your life where appropriate with nothing to fear, nothing to lose, and nothing to prove.
Beautiful, beautifully said.
Mhm.
Because it takes strength to stand up and say, look, here I am. Here is where I'm going. And those that need to hear it, this is what I have. And I want to stand up for those that are afraid to or are suffering in silence out there. There's a lot of us that will for whatever reasons. And we're used to holding things back and not talking about things and sharing and being vulnerable. We're very protective of what's inside and we wear that armor so no one
Mhm.
can actually see where our heart is. And once we take that off, it'll always be there. We can always put it back on if we want to, but just take it off for a little bit of a time, and you'll start working on yourself, and you can be proud of your accomplishments. Like I never thought I would tell another human being what I've kept a secret my entire life. And that freedom you get from being vulnerable is amazing. It really is. And if you've never done it before, give it a shot. When you feel safe and trusting of another person that deserves to hear your story, and it could be your therapist, it could be your best friend, it could be your peer, or it can be a complete stranger. That's up to you.
Think about when a person is struggling with their mental wellness, they're struggling with addiction, and they're in that contemplative mode of, I know I've got something going on here, and I've been keeping it to myself. And now I'm going to take that courageous and vulnerable step to push through the pride that kept me from talking about what's going on with me. Now I'm going to get real honest with it. And I raise my hand and I need help. Now you take it to the next point where, okay, now I'm going to a detox.
Mm.
Now I'm going into active recovery. I am changing my landscape from east to west right now. And when you're flying out to the facility, when you're being driven out or driving out to the facility, or however you're going to get there, you have a lot of time to think, and yet you still keep going. And you can be in the worst mindset ever for a lot of really good reasons. You could be going through some withdrawals, some post-acute withdrawal symptoms that make you just feel like you got the flu. It's a bad day. You're going through all kinds of irritable things, and you want to turn around, and if you could, you jump out with a parachute and stop, right? But you keep going, and then you get there, and you're surrounded by generally strangers who hopefully are hopefully it's a lot of familiar faces as far as the careers go, that there are a bunch of other emergency responders that have been there, and there are different phases of their recovery that welcome you there and let you know it's going to be okay. And that you say to yourself, I did something really good here. My life may have just exploded. Everything may be going horribly wrong with my personal life, my professional life, my physical life, my emotional health. But you know what I just did? I just made this very courageous decision to get real. And that is something to be immensely proud of. This may not be the best day ever, but guess what? It's the best day ever.
Yes.
Mike, do you remember when you decided to get help? How long did it take for you to find a sense of healthy pride?
That's a real good question. I felt I knew I could do it. I knew I was going to do it, and I didn't give myself any other alternatives to not do it. So when I was doing it, I felt proud of myself, but maybe not deserving of it. I was stuck in shame. I was stuck in guilt. I was stuck in the woulda, coulda, shouldas. I was stuck in loss. I was stuck in addiction, the consequences. I was stuck in the loss of a career, loss of friends, loss of respect, loss of integrity. So all that stuff was boiling up at the same time, and I was very very alone, and it was other people in recovery that pulled me out of that, and we're there, and I could see that they didn't care where I came from or what I did and where I was. It's the only thing were concerned about, that I am doing good, and I'm working a best recovery program that I could. That was completely new to me, and yeah, I started having pride in myself right off the bat. I had a little sense of it, and as it grew over the years, it's just there. I am proud of myself, and I'm not worried about saying it. Sometimes I don't give myself enough credit, but it's something that you earn yourself, that you're proud of doing some good things that you do, and it depends on your intentions. If I intend to do something good so people will notice me, then I don't feel like I'm doing myself a service or anybody else, because it's more of a selfish.
Right.
But when I'm selfless, I do something for other people, and I don't worry about anything to get back in return. I'm not bartering for my help to help somebody else or someone else to pat me on the back. I can do that myself. So I have to fight over those urges, those human urges to be noticed, and to be welcomed and to be applauded and say, look, I'm doing this for me and nobody else. And if that's true, then it doesn't make a difference what other people think about me or say about me, as long as I am true to myself and say good things about myself. And it's none of my business. My business is what I think about myself.
Right.
And that's what one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life. And having that pride and having that being proud of, I can be proud all day long of other people. I am proud of a lot of people in my lives. I'm proud of you, Jim. I mean, all the time. I mean, we talk these things, and a lot of times we forget to be proud about ourselves. And
Yeah.
so that's a very, very powerful word. And sometimes we don't hear it enough, and we
Right.
don't hear it enough
Absolutely.
from ourselves.
And Mike in the background, the audience may know this, they may not know this, but our listeners that are listening, Mike is the brainchild and the passion and the heartbeat of Halt and Call for Backup.
Oh,
He invited me to join him at one point to just interview me, and then it kind of took off from there.
because
But
you're
if you
rad,
all,
man.
oh, thanks,
That's
man.
why I wasn't gonna
Thank
pass
you.
this. I'm gonna grab a hold of Jim. But okay, wait a minute. Thank you.
Ah, right,
There
right.
we
That's the whole. And you're. Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that.
go.
And that's the hard part of pride too. Is like learning to say thanks, man. I appreciate that because
Mhm,
oftentimes we go into that mode of oh, it's no big deal. I hear people telling me all the time, "You sounded good on the podcast," and my first reaction in my
mhm.
brain is to say, "This scrappy surfer, twangy SoCal voice." That's the first thing that I go through. Then I just go, "Hey, thanks. I appreciate that."
Yeah.
Um, and then I tend to change the subject
Yeah.
pretty quick after that.
Well,
Keeps me
keep going
humble.
what you were saying though. I'm soaking this all
Yeah,
up right now. This is great stuff.
thanks. The ability that a person has, like we take Mike as the example, he had this vision. And this can be true for all of the emergency responders listening and the general pop audience that aren't first responders, because at some point in life, you get a vision to do something. I don't care if you're going to be a paper boy or a paper girl. I don't care if you're going to open up a lemonade stand. I don't care if you're going to get through high school and just stop at auto shop and become the world's best mobile mechanic, or you have a desire, you know what, I love helping people. I mean, it bit me pretty early when I was a junior lifeguard. At 10 years old, I'm learning how to be a junior lifeguard. And the junior lifeguards of my day were different than the junior lifeguards of today. We were in the lifeguard towers. We were standing shoulder to shoulder, or with me, you know, shoulder to waistband because I was 10 years old, right? But
Mhm.
for 10 till 16, I was right in the thick of things every summer, most every day, learning how to be a lifeguard, learning all the different nuances of how to save someone's life or a group of people's lives, or how to communicate, how to answer questions, how to enforce the rules, hopefully with love and respect. But the emergency responders that are out there, or whatever career that you have, you get a passion for it at some point. You want to do something with yourself. You want to get further educated. You want to get training. You want to go down a different career path and check something out. You want to leave the career that you're in and start something new for whatever those reasons are. And that you basically get on target and you go for it. You do some investigation, you figure out what you need to do to pass the tests, and there you are. And so I love when I can help people tap into that fire that's within their spirit, because I think everyone has it. At some point in your life, you had it. Let me focus on the emergency responders for a second. I say this all the time to my clients. I go, you know what? One of the things I love the most about working with emergency responders is that not everybody gets to be an emergency responder. There's a percentage of us that make it through all the hoops. And then here we are, whether you're a 911 dispatcher, firefighter, paramedic, captain, engineer, battalion chief, deputy sheriff, law enforcement professional. Not everybody gets to make it into those careers. So you get focused, you get laser focused on pushing through. And then there you are. And I don't care if you're in the middle of the academy right now, if you're preparing for the academies right now, preparing for the tests, in probation, seasoned veteran, getting ready to retire, retiring, retired. There's a lot that you've done. and a lot of people you've contacted and a lot of lives that you had a hand in saving. Our wonderful 911 dispatchers, man, but we've talked before, the point of the spear.
Yeah.
Thank God for our dispatchers. They're walking hand in hand into these things. But to remember that fire that you have inside, and if you've lost it or lost sight of it, or if it's tamping out, let's rekindle that again
Mm.
and get some pride going in your life again in a really healthy way.
Yeah, definitely, Jim. And thank you for that. That's great. It's great to hear that. And the people listening also, just remember that there are other people struggling too. And you're not alone in all this. And don't, close the book on your career. Don't close the book on your career if it was a 2-year career or a 20-year career. There's always something you could do to give back to others and to help others and get that pride back. Take care of yourself first. Jim, let's close it up, man. We're coming to the end. You got any final words, Jim, before we wrap it up?
Mike, I'm so glad you brought out the positive word jar. I had a chance to experience it in your office whenever I come by and say, hey, or back when we used to work together. It's really great that you have it again. We should do this again.
Well,
We
let's
should get
make a
that.
series out of it. Let's just
Let's
start
do
doing
it.
it. All
Yeah.
right, buddy.
So why don't we add that 28-day challenge? Pride. Next 28 days, work on some healthy pride.
All right. Everybody else be good to one another. And remember, if you're feeling lonely, you're feeling scared, you're feeling pissed off at the world, halt and call for backup.
Don't get
If
fooled
you
again.
again.